Hey fellow photographer, I'm Brittney-Elizabeth from Nice Place Media. My goal is to support you in becoming a real estate photographer using a method that's easy to learn, easy to teach for when you're ready to scale up, and as efficient and stress-free as it can possibly get. After lots of experimentation and plenty of trial and error, I've been able to accomplish this for myself, and today I'm going to walk through my entire business setup so that you can accomplish it too. I will cover every app and subscription that I use to run my business, and I'll offer a few alternatives for you to investigate as well. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I want to start off by talking about the phone apps that I use pretty regularly. The first is my GPS. GPS is probably pretty obvious to you, but there are a couple of things that you'll want to keep in mind. I have an iPhone and I don't have any issues with Apple Maps, so I tend to use that. But I notice that every once in a while, Apple Maps will crash, or I put an address in and Apple Maps says that it does not exist. So it's important to always have a backup GPS as well. I like to use Waze as my backup app, but it really doesn't matter what two GPS apps you use as long as you use two. One will always fail at some point, so it's good to have a backup. Also, remember that even if you only use your backup once a year, you still want to make sure you're keeping it updated so that when you need it, it's there for you to use. Route for Me is another very useful app that I use, especially on days when I have 3+ shoots. Route for Me allows you to put the addresses in of all of the locations that you'll be visiting. Then it lists out the locations in order so that you can go to them in a straight line, saving you time and gas. While we're on the topic of mileage, let's discuss QuickBooks Self-Employed. I love this app because it automatically tracks your mileage and it allows you to swipe right or left Tinder style to indicate whether your trip was personal or business. You're also able to set up your bank account and use the same feature of swiping right or left to indicate whether each purchase is personal or business. This makes tax time a breeze. Dropbox, Stripe, and SmugMug will be programs that you primarily use on your desktop, but it's really good to have them on your phone as well to make your life easier. After every single shoot, I head back to my car and I upload my photos to a folder and then put that folder into Dropbox. At the end of the day, when all of my shoots are done and the photos are uploaded, I send those links to my editors. But by that time, I'm usually tuckered out and I'm either on my sofa or I'm in bed, I'm not near my computer, and I'm not that interested in moving. Because I have Dropbox on my phone, though, I can simply copy and paste the links to my editors without ever having to get up. It's really a lifesaver. Your Stripe account will primarily run in the background of other apps that you use, but I recommend downloading the Stripe app for your phone because every once in a while you will have a realtor who'd prefer to pay in person. When that scenario pops up, you'll be ready to rock. If you're not that into Stripe, you can also check out Square. It's a very similar platform, though some of the fees may be different. You personally may choose not to even use SmugMug, but I do like to have it as a backup. For the most part, I just use it to upload videos so that I can keep them all in one place and share them easily without having to go through hundreds and hundreds of shoots. I want to also mention a few apps that are useful for when you're ready to move into video and 3D tours. The Ronin app, Matterport, and Camera Connect, if your camera has it, are really useful apps to have on your phone and to keep updated so that they're ready to go when you need them. Now for my computer setup. As previously mentioned, you'll definitely want to set up a Stripe account. I recommend setting up a Stripe account before you set up a website or ViewShoot or anything else because most of the other sites you use will ask to connect to Stripe. I designed my website through Wix. I was able to do it myself because most of the features are drag and drop and very easy to use. Wix is fantastic because not only can you set up your website, you can also buy a domain and email address so that they're all connected with little work on your end. Your clients can schedule shoots on your site, and you can send email campaigns, eliminating the need to set up separate accounts on other sites. If you don't like Wix, you can also check out Squarespace and Weebly. For me, ViewShoot has been a game changer. This is where I do my heavy lifting. Prior to ViewShoot, I would send clients their photos through Dropbox or a similar service. Then I would have to wait to receive payment. At one point, I even waited up to a year to get paid for a photo shoot. ViewShoot remedies all of that. When photos are sent to clients, they cannot be downloaded until they pay. I'm able to set up auto emails for reminders and letting people know that their shoots are ready. You can easily create slideshow videos and tour pages, and I can easily track my business's growth through reports. You're also able to issue partial and full refunds if needed. It's just a lifesaver. I highly recommend ViewShoot. A couple of alternatives that are worth investigating are Rella and Tourbuzz. I use these 4 programs every single day on my computer. The first is Dropbox. As I previously mentioned, this is how I share and receive photos from my editors, so it's very important. You might be surprised to see Facebook on here, but this is how I communicate with my editors. We communicate through Facebook Messenger. When my photos are edited and ready for me to download, they share the links with me through Facebook Messenger. Most editors also work through email, but I prefer Facebook Messenger because I get pings instantly when I have a new message. When I get my photos from the editors, I download them and I look through them myself and sometimes make additional little edits, sometimes to brightness or just editing something small out of a shot. This is why it's important to have Adobe Creative Cloud. You're already a photographer, so you probably have some system in place for editing photos, so I won't go into this one in too much detail, but just make sure you have something. Your editors will fix mistakes if you tell them, but if you're having a busy day, you notice a simple error, and it's much faster for you to do it yourself, then that really is to your benefit. I use Stripe to charge my clients, but my editors prefer PayPal to charge me. And I've worked with other editors in the past, and they all seem to prefer PayPal, so I highly recommend having a PayPal account. Here's a list of my essential everyday gear. I'm also going to include for you a list of links where you can study specs and purchase any of the gear here that you would like. And I'll go through it a little bit for you as well. I personally shoot with the Sony a7R II, but we're up to a7R IV. Any of the A7R series is going to be more than enough for your real estate photography business. You'll save a lot of money if you're willing to go down a camera model or two. I use a Sony 10 to 18 millimeter lens, both for photo and video, and I never need to change it. It's perfect for all of my real estate needs. I use a mid-range tripod because no matter what kind of tripod you buy, it's gonna break. You have to manipulate the tripod legs hundreds of times a day, and no tripod is really equipped to handle that over a long period of time. So don't go super expensive on your tripod because you'll find that you'll have to replace it every 10 to 15 months. Where you do want to spend money though is your tripod head. I personally recommend the Manfrotto ball head. I've been using this one for years. Even while I replaced my tripod, the head has lasted, and I believe that it will continue to last as long as I need it. A camera remote can be really useful when you're trying to take a picture in a tight space and there's nowhere to hide. I usually like to make a little challenge of trying to find a way to hide, so I don't use my remote very often, but that's not the most practical solution. I would recommend having a remote. I have both a MacBook and an iMac, but if I had to choose one, it would be the MacBook hands down. Because once again, after every single shoot, I upload photos to Dropbox. This really keeps me organized and saves a lot of time at the end of the day. I also like to have an extra MacBook charger that I keep in my car. This way I'm not constantly chasing around my one charger trying to figure out where it is, and I always have one nearby when it's needed. Lastly, you can never have enough memory cards. I try to have 3 on my person at all times, but even then I worry that it's not enough. Always have multiple memory cards in your camera bag, but also keep one in your car too, just in case for some reason you forget to bring your camera bag or you forget all of your memory cards. You will always have that one just waiting to swoop in and save the day. I've been shooting real estate full-time for 9 years, and I've tried every method that there is. I've used Flash, I've edited my photos myself, I've used Flambient, I've used Infuse. After everything I've tried, this is the system that I've landed on because it's efficient and it's easy to teach and learn. I shoot 5 bracketed exposures without Flash. For interiors, I stick to f10 and ISO 400. If a room is particularly dark, I'll drop down lower, anywhere from f9 to f7.1. I do not go below 7.1. For exteriors, I stick to f13 and ISO 400 as well. I really never change the ISO unless I'm making a video. This way, the only thing that I'm adjusting is shutter speed. My workflow is also very efficient. I start by discussing with the client the date, time, and location of the shoot. I prefer to work through text, and most of my clients are okay with that, but sometimes it's a phone call or an email, and that's fine too. I put all the details for the shoot in ViewShoot, and then my client automatically gets an email reminding them of all of the details of their scheduled shoot. I also send my clients a pre-shoot checklist so that they can be prepared on shoot day. You'll get a copy of this too after the training. Next, it's time to shoot the home. As I said, I've gotten this down to a science, so for me it takes about 30, maybe 45 minutes to shoot a house depending on its size. If you're just starting out, give yourself double the time. After every shoot, make sure that you're creating a folder with the address and uploading it to Dropbox. Be sure to do this after every shoot, otherwise at the end of the day, you'll have to sort through all of your pictures and figure out what goes where, and that is very time consuming. So at the end of the workday, be sure that you're connected to Wi-Fi so that your photos can upload to Dropbox. Then when they do, send them to your editors either through Facebook or email. I highly recommend working with editors in a different time zone. This is because at the end of my workday, their day is just starting. And then when I wake up in the morning, my photos are now ready to deliver to my clients. Once I receive the photos from my editors, I look them over and make any tweaks that I see necessary, and then I upload the edits to ViewShoot. Once the edits start uploading in ViewShoot, I can just walk away and make coffee and go on with the rest of my day, because when the upload concludes, an email automatically goes out to my client letting them know that their photos are ready and also sending them an invoice that they can pay. Once the invoice is paid, the photos automatically released to the client, and I have literally done nothing else besides upload them. I swear by ViewShoot and highly recommend it. As your photos are uploading to ViewShoot, here's what you'll see. I would say if you have 40 photos, it generally takes about 5 minutes to finish the upload. You want to make sure you're checking both boxes at the bottom so that your client can receive an automatic email when their uploads are complete. Every shoot comes standard with its own tour page, one branded and one with no branding so that it's MLS compliant. If you create a video or a 3D tour, or if you use the slideshow feature that's built into ViewShoot, they will also appear on your tour page. That's that. After 9 years of shooting full-time using many methods, this is the one I like most. I am a fan of efficiency, and it does not get any more efficient than this. I like it because it's easy to learn and it's easy to teach for when you're ready to scale up. It provides consistent results and consistently happy clients. It's as low stress as you're going to get. You're not lugging around a lot of heavy equipment, and it frees up a lot of your time at the end of your workday. Thanks for taking a walk through my business setup with me. Remember that you now have access to a pre-shoot checklist, which is unbranded, so you can download it and begin sending it to your clients immediately. I'm also giving you a list with links to all of the equipment that I use in my business. You can click each link, easily view details, and purchase any items that you need. Lastly, you now have access to a list of editors who are easy to work with, communicative, and have quick turnaround times. If you'd like to stay connected or if you have any questions, find me on IG or shoot me an email. See you soon.